Hey, so I am Wei Jun here. I am presenting for the Ironman PPT. So yeah, I will present how the Ironman in the Avenger Endgame, the character, how is the character he is. So for the individual process that Iron Man actually use many innovative ways and he is able to improvise in many situations. In the movie, he is leading the team by giving the specific role and tasks. Even the sudden situation happen, they can still handle with the with the Iron Man's leadership. So based on the mass model, Iron Man is able to motivate himself, a self-motivated person, and also can motivate the team that their goal is aligned together to defeat the Thanos. So they can lead the team in many ways, and so the Iron Man role is to defeat the Thanos and lead the team to prevent him slipping his fingers. So Iron Man had, based on the five-factor personality model, he has high openness, which means that he is using his creative own way to solve the problems, and based on their many possibility that he has seen. So he has moderate consciousness, so he has certain level of the organized and dependable so the team will be trust him by his leading. So he is also high extroversion, which means that he is very extroverted, very talkative, very outgoing, very energetic to going outside and approach the outdoor activities. So it also made him a great leader now, since the high extroversion. Low agreeable, he has low agreeableness. He he is he has the low agreeableness, so he is doing the so he always giving the opposite view most of the time, and also he has low neuroticism and low neuroticism, which means that he is a relaxed person and very flexible when facing the high pressure. So yeah, based on MBTI, he is ENTP. So extroversion, which means his energy is outside lah. He gain energy from outside activities. Extroversion. And for initiative, he is an initiative person, which he can use imaginative and based on the future planning and and decide which are the best way to achieve the goal. And also he is thinking person, which means that he is thinking based on the two sides or many sides and compare which are the best decision to make. And also he is perceptive person, so he can see the many possibility than the judging person since the perceptive person is thinking out the possibility uh, and he can adapt in many situations. So the motivation of Iron Man is prevent Thanos faking fingers because the the Thanos faking fingers did make him lose of the teammates. So the pain of losing teammates is also the drive of the need for Iron Man to move forward. So based on the ABC behavior, so at the first, Iron Man is pursued by the team to join back to go to the past and save the half of the population of the universe. And the behavior is the team just remind the Iron Man that they still have chance to save them. And the consequence is Iron Man finally joined back the team. And for the team process part, reciprocal level task independence were using by Iron Man. It is a high level task independence since many members will have his own specific role and also know when should be assist other members in a sudden situation. So the Avenger is also a diversity team which make them has many skills and broader knowledge or broader skill set to handle the many situations. So the obstacle for the diversity team is the team communication will be take a lot of time. And Iron Man did a good thing at here is he very well at the team communication by continuously giving the feedback to the team and what the team should be doing for the next step. So and also Iron Man provide continuous feedback to many situations based also the task conflict and relationship conflict. So task conflict is when the Iron Man has his strong opinion and also sometimes he couldn't hear the other people view which he want to be uh, using his own way since he want to fast. And for relationship conflict such as that the team want to have to contribute to the tasks, and many of the time the relationship is conflict since that each member has his own ways to solve the problems. And there are five conflict handling styles such as problem solving, and Iron Man did solve many problems in many situations with his own innovative ways, and he's a forcing person that forcing the team to using his own way and leading them to the achieve the goal to achieve the goal. And sometimes Iron Man will avoiding the issue, and it causes that members will have loss of trust, and also there is a relationship conflict here. So and the fourth way is the yielding. So this is when the opponent side is getting advantage. So this is the ways to handling them by yielding and make the team spirit up. And the last is the compromising. So Iron Man's will compromise by giving the mutual needs for the team members. So each member opinions and ways will be taken as the solution to solving the issue. So the leadership style of the Iron Man is very task oriented. So he more focus task than the people. So everything he will start with the how do we solve this more than how do we make a great teamwork. So he's also very a directive person, which he command the team in a such directive way and lead them to defeat the Thanos. And he's also achievement oriented. So everything he do is based on the last result, the final result, which is defeat the Thanos and prevent him from splitting the fingers. And he always motivate the team to get better and have a great way to solve the problems. And for the organizational process is Iron Man have a cultural strength, which is he's been very innovative, and this is the his ability with many innovative way is his strength. So he also also a very aggressiveness person, which he always want to win, and he used a very direct way to solve the issue. And he's very competitive, so he wants to win the every even a small battle he wants to win every time. So the lastly is he very good at creating urgency. So like which time we should solve this problem, and we have a limited time to solve this problem. And this conscious will be given to the team to solve the issue. So he will communicate with the team by by creating urgency, and also with the feedback and innovative way that he suggests. So Iron Man learned many new skills such as creating a more powerful weapon and improve his leadership. And there's a skill that which helped Iron Man and his team Avenger defeat the Thanos at the end. So Iron Man very good is he involved everyone with own role clearly, and also every situation is adapt with different role. So this is his ability with evolve everyone with many situations. So in the end, here is my presentation.
My name is Fouad Hanen, and for my part, I'm going with the Hulk Avenger Endgame. And let's start. Hulk. The child of an abused father, Bruce Wayne, grew up shy and inverted, yet a scientist genius. As a young man, thanks to his standout work and field in nuclear physics, he attracted the attraction of the U.S. Army, who wanted to adopt his theories for weaponry. Banner resisted such as motion, but failed attempt to lending steady work conceded him to accept position at federal nuclear research facility at the missile base in the New Mexico desert. At the base, Banner was redefined in a Betty Ross, daughter of General Thunderbolt Ross, and a man who took an instant disliking to the passive scientific, while at the base, Banner began to develop a build bomb, utilized high construction of gamma radiation, projectile intensity to an undercover foreigner agent identified there. When his teenager named Drake Jones wanted to onto it bomb initial test, the scientists rushed out of the area to warn Jones, but the foreign agent possibly contained the test. The bomb exploded, began be, batting Bruce Banner into its radiation. Incredibly, he survived the detonation, but later he even transformed into a large gray man-like monster, dubbed a Hulk by one of the base soldier. Individual process. After fusing the man and the monster into one, smart hybrid, Hulk volunteers to wield a fully equipped Infinity Gauntlet, bringing back everyone who was dusted by Thanos. Based on the MAR or Mars model, motion is an internal force that affect a person voluntary choice to behave to a certain behavior. Hulk was motivated to kill Thanos and tried to restore all of the human that vanished due to the Thanos snap. Thanos snapped his finger, and adding to that, death of Black Widow or Scarlett Johansson, played by Scarlett Johansson, on the distant planet Vormer, gives Hulk a legitimate reason to miss her final moment, as could not have imagined that his soul, the Soul Stone, required her to die in order to retrieve it. Still, her friends take second mourn her and her death to survive the to motion to motivate them to keep fighting, especially her former lover, lover Hulk. Motivation was sustained until Hulk and the Avengers successfully killed Thanos. Ability: Hulk has learned to control his behavior, and with other Avenger, this was never experienced by Hulk when he was in the team before, and that's due to letting Bruce take control. Role prospection means understand the job duty, expect us, and understand the task perform priority. In Avengers Endgame, Hulk know that he needed to come up with a new way that can make them go back and get stones. His role as strongest and the smartest time and travel through the space in Avengers. Situational factor and for environmental condition beyond the individual short-term control, the constraint of the feasibility behavior. This happened when Hulk and the nanogauntlet nanogauntlet was created by Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and Rocket allowed the Avenger to utilize the six Infinity Stone they had gathered during their time heist, restoring the victim of the snap. Once Stark entrusted each of the stone into a nano gauntlet, the Avenger debated who should use the gauntlet. With Thor deemed unfit to perform the action, it was decided Hulk would wield it. When wielded by the Hulk gauntlet, it responded itself to fit his hand. The Avenger deployed the defenses within the facility and potential undesirable consequences caused by the stone's power. As one final defense, the power of the sixth stone surged through his arm, and he struggled to put out his finger and thumb together. Eventually, he succeeded snapping his finger and restoring the victim of the snap, at the cost of his right arm being severely charred from the stone. Power obtained was counterproduction work behavior. The MIPT of Banner personality type is the trouble in it, logic, Lucigen, in INTP T, angry loss of complete control, and then brooded expansively over the consequences is pretty trouble in it, and his ongoing effort of controlling his anger, leading him to hiding a world-class example of introverted trouble and consequence improvement strategy. In self-verification, Hulk maintains his self-concept, which was to kill Thanos and bring back to the life of the people who had disappeared. Hulk also has a high self-esteem because he does not let any other influence him. Hulk social itself in one of the Avenger, the strongest Avenger. Hulk also has prejudices against the other members of the Avenger. Hulk believes that he's the strongest Avenger, and that's also what said in the movie about Hulk being the strongest Avenger and Thor Ragnarok. Also, meaningful interaction between Hulk and Avenger. They have close fragment interaction, achieve moment goal, and accomplish meaningful tasks. They often stick together. Therefore, we bring everyone back as the complexity of the concept of itself. On Earth, he is the strongest Avenger when he was in space and fought in other uh, realm or other planet, even if the strongest deemed the strongest fighter than Thor when they fight in the movie. In these two destinations, there was a corresponding nerve, namely the feeling of protecting the other. Hulk decision making can be related to his emotion and needs in game case. For example, when Hulk and the Avenger located that Thanos were about, they went to Thanos and get the Infinity Stone. However, when they discovered that the Infinity Stone had already been destroyed by Thanos, Hulk anger was not the problem anymore. It got replaced by coolness and control, led him to build a machine that get him to go back in time and get back the stone. Team process and Avenger Endgame brutal heroes are formed and Avenger and protect the Earth from villains and alien invasion. The team's adventure becomes clear when they all share the experience fighting Thanos and make better association that at the end of the movie the task of the team is move where complex tasks that were divided into specific roles. For example, Harko's attacks design proto portal to go to the past and the future. This was because the Hulk was more familiar with radiation and the machine technology that only of the Avenger, one of the Avengers that can be doing that. Next to the higher task and interaction, Hulk shared knowledge about radiation and his knowledge with the quantum physics and help express it with the Avenger and the team in the meeting. A large team has more time to coordinate and develop tasks. Team skills working together when Hulk shared the knowledge to build the machine and the gauntlet with Avenger conflicted resolution called Hulk chooses to stand and let himself snap the gauntlet knowing it's gonna be destroyed and it could be lead to death. But he decided to sacrifice it instead of the team, so keep everyone alive and away from harm. Hulk and the Avenger well, strong because the members were morally similar and interacted with each other more than often were more successful in the experience. The similarity between Hulk and the Avenger in the have their own superhero and protect Earth, and the fragment interaction of the member took place when they met discussing Thanos and eventually killed Thanos. The moment the amount of time they stuck with each other was long, and the level of trust in the team could be related to was knowledge-based trust. Iron Man is trusted Bob because the best experience, so he asked Hulk to build the gauntlet and up, not only between Hulk and Iron Man, but the members of the Avengers trusted each other. This could proven in the time travel scenes. Each of them trusted other complete mission and bring back the stone and Infinity Stone and trusted Hulk with what Hulk built. Good team of communication is one of the crucial key component for the success of the team. The important communication is also evident in Avenger Endgame. First, the coordination of work activity. Hulk know what he should do and what he could do after communicating with the Avenger. Also, through the communication, they could make it the best decision to certain between uh, problem. With the Avenger member during the meeting when Hulk had just woke up, Captain America asked Hulk to explain about the stone reality, but uh, information overload occurred because they only wanted to know about Thanos' plan and about the moment. Organizational process. In organizational change chapter, Hulk resisted to change or to the Hulk we all know. At the beginning of the movie, Bruce refused to let him and tried to force him out. The reason was negative fear of what coming. This could be proved to the conversation Bruce panel with Tony in the fight. Bruce did not want to let the humans suffer, and Hulk didn't want to stand against Thanos anymore. Next, Bruce also feared that the unknown. Bruce was not confident to fight Thanos, but he knew what needed to be done, and Tony was there to push him and help him with what needed, and did not know what would happen if they failed to kill Thanos. Conclusion. In my opinion, after watching this movie, the key factor of Hulk is changing from change of his nature. At the beginning of the Avenger, Hulk was pissed off and fighting when Hulk didn't want to be a part of something new or a new image. He even did not help in the fight. Hulk decided to let Bruce Banner be the alpha of the body or the system and save people and fight Thanos. Prevent and in the end, they prevent Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlet. Finally, the Avenger and Hulk won the battle against Thanos, and the people who were wiped out by Thanos came back to their life. In self-reflection, verification, Hulk maintained his self-concept, which was to kill Thanos and bring back life to all of the people based on the disappeared. Hulk also has high self-esteem because he does not let inflection other influence him. A social lifestyles of venture as strongest as well.
Good day, sir. My name is Lao Junhong, and the character that I choose from Endgame is Captain America. Captain America is one of the key characters in this movie. He is a superhero that appears in Marvel Comics America comics book. The most important thing that we can learn from the Captain America is his value of never give up. Captain America is more downtrodden than ever before, but he still has not give up his hope. Throughout the first half of the movie, he made it clear that he cannot move on from what happened, and he does not have all the answer. It, it is humanizing to see that even someone who has such strong conviction and get a little bit lost in the big picture. The next value is whatever it takes. Captain America remind that has left of Avenger repeatedly that he will not giving up on defeating Thanos or on getting the missing half of Earth population back. Whatever it takes wasn't just remind for him, it but but essentially a better cry. Considering not everyone made it out of the movie alive, the phrase proved true as well. The first personality that Captain America has is responsibility. Captain America seemed like the other superhero in the Marvel series. He performed what he does out of a sense of responsibility to the people. The next one is integrity. Integrity may appear to be a boring personality quality for a movie character, but it is actually what drew other characters to him and motivate them to follow in his lead. When Captain America was weak, he never made excuse or complaint, and he always stood up because his moral principle, which which keep he going. The next slide is leadership and communicate of Captain America. Captain America team's leadership empowers by action and not just the word. For example, Captain America leads the Avenger struggle against Thanos despite the fact that it is a challenging work. And the Captain America of communication is he has not communication barriers because that Avenger must. In the movie, Captain America communicates well with their team and it shows when he persuades the other Avengers to join the team to fight with Thanos. The team communication is very important because Avengers must communicate in order to operate together. To operate successfully together, they must ensure that their team's communication is excellent.
Hi, my name is Chen, and now I'm going to present the Doctor Strange in the Avengers Endgames. So now I'm going to present about the individual behaviors of the Doctor Strange, and I will use MRS model to present about it. For the first, the motivation of Doctor Strange is come from the after having the accident. So his hand is hurt, very injured, very serious, and then he cannot do the surgery anymore. So he go to find a new way to cure his hand. So this is where the motivation is come from. And after that, the abilities I can find from Doctor Strange is he can learn a new thing very fast, and we can get it from when Ancient One push him into a very cold place, and he asked Doctor Strange to get up from there, and he just use around 30 minutes to get up from there. And from here we can see Doctor Strange can learn a new thing very fast, and this is the ability of Doctor Strange. And after Doctor Strange learn some superpower from the Ancient One, and he understand the roles, which is he need to protect the human being from the attack of enemies, and he got understand the roles, and he would having the higher motivation in protecting the world. And also the situation factors which I say from the beginning just now, the situation is the Doctor Strange hurt very hard and he cannot do surgery anymore with his hand. And so this is the situation factors which make Doctor Strange would having the motivation, abilities, and roles perception. And now I'm going to present about the MBTI of Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is a ENTJ personal types, and for E is extraversion. And in the movie, Doctor Strange is people who like to joking and playing music while doing the surgery from the his own movie. But about the Avengers, we can see that every time when Doctor Strange he is want want to speak something, he won't doubt about that, and he will just speak up what he he is thinking and speak out all his view. And after that, he is a intuitive kind of people, and because I would say that because he solved the difficulties via his imagination, and also he would like to use his past experience do the to solve the difficulties. And what the outcome is, he end up in the same spots. So after that, he's a thinking type, and he will never let it down, and never he will never trust the fate, because maybe is he is a doctor. He most of the time he most trust to a science, but after he is like learn superpower from the ancient one, but he still is the same. He won't trust to the fate. He most trusting his own past experience most of the time, and he is the judging type of people, because Doctor Strange actually did not like to fight using the brute force like what the Hulk do. He is more to the thinking type of people, because what he want is he want to prevent fight every time. He always think the best way to solve the problem, and if there is not a need, he won't fight at all. Then I would like to present the self perception. And for the first one, he Doctor Strange has a nice self concept. And why I would say that, because he is people who know who he is, and he always know what is his view, and he know that he can do well in the surgery. He is very confident on that. So this is why I say he has a good self concept about himself, because he know what he can do. And this is also the what we call the self enhancement. And he is very good in that, because he always believe that he can do. And this is one of the advantage of the self enhancement. And Doctor Strange is a intelligent and very stubborn guys, because most of the time he is more trusting himself other than outside people. Because in the Avenger we can see that every time got conflict with other members, he was he does what other people say, and he just believe what he thinks. And Now I would like to discuss about the emotion, attitudes, and stress of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has a good emotion level because he has the effort after he get the ability, which is the time stone and the superpower from the ancient one, and he having the effort of and planning and control the needed to express the organizationally desired emotion during interpersonal transaction. And I would not say that Doctor Strange has the highest emotional intelligence because Doctor Strange did not have the ability to control other people emotions, but he has a high emotional intelligence because he has the ability to know other emotion and by and understand the meanings of others' emotions. So now I would like to discuss about the stress part of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange actually in Avengers is we can see that although the Doctor Strange is get caught by the Thanos people and ask him to give the time stone to him, but actually Doctor Strange did not give him the time stone because he know after give him what will happen, and he remains calm and did not simply give up from this screen. And after that we can see that Doctor Strange can manage the stress very well, although at the very stress situation. And now I would like to discuss about the motivation of the Doctor Strange. The motivation is a thing like the force within a people that affect the direction, intensity, and persistence of voluntary behavior. So what the motivation come from is because Doctor Strange is very fear of death. So most of the time he's more thinking about himself other than other people. So but this is also one of the advantage because he fear of that, so he will think very well before he do something. He will think logically and do the right decision. So he will he when come to the expectancy theory of motivation about the effort, performance, and outcome, I would like to say that Doctor Strange did very well. He he did a good effort on the Thanos and how to win and stop the Thanos plan. And because of the effort, we can see the performance of Doctor Strange is very good. And what the outcome is, the Avengers, all the members already win the Thanos and stop it. And this is what the Doctor Strange want to. But luck unluckily, Iron Man dead in the war. But what did Doctor Strange do is he successfully to stop the Thanos. If no, half of the world will dead. So that from the snap finger of Thanos, and we can see although Iron Man is gone, but it is a good outcome because they bring back half of the world and their success to stop the Thanos plan to wipe out half of the human being from the world. And now I'm going to talk about the decision making and creativity of Doctor Strange. So the decision making is Doctor Strange do is very well. He is a he have a intuitive decision making, and this is the key of winning the Thanos, because if he did not use the time stone to predict millions of possibles, and if he choose the wrong he decide the wrong thing, the outcome will change, and you'll see Avenger will lose from Thanos attack the world. And this is why I would say it is the key of winning the Thanos. And because of this, when the opportunity exists and Doctor Strange will the best one without the conscious reasoning, I would say he is a intuitive decision making people, and this is a good thing about Doctor Strange, because not everyone can choose from million of thing, like just in a short time. Then Doctor Strange can decide which is the best one. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Yeow, and for now I want to give my analysis of character on the Avenger Endgame movies. The character I chosen on Avenger Endgame movie is Spiderman. His real name is Peter Parker. The cause on the Avenger Endgame is Tom Holland, and his ability is to climb most of the surface and spider senses. His weapon is web slinger, banklet, and the sticky webbing. And for here the individual process, for here we find out that Spider-Man have a high task performance, which is Peter Parker is to deliver the Thanos gauntlet to the van. Peter Parker get the Thanos gauntlet is to try to avoid the Thanos use his power. uh, for more detail, if the Thanos use his ability, Avenger will let a lot of people to sacrifice and try to beat to the Thanos. At the end, the result is successfully avoid the Thanos use his ability, but the Tony, which is Iron Man, is sacrificed during the war. This is a screenshot of the Peter Parker get the Thanos congrats. At here, we've also found out that Spider-Man have high extroversion personality. He socialize is big, but it is not because he doesn't want it. For more analysis, we found out that he not only outgoing with people, he also eager to enjoy all the experiments with his unique power offered to him. For more detail, at Peter Parker meet Captain Marvel scene, Peter Parker is introducing himself to the first meet with Captain Marvel during the war, even during the war. And this is the screenshot of Peter Parker meet Captain Marvel scene. You can see that hi, I am Peter Parker, which is introducing himself to Captain Marvel. And next, we find out that Spider-Man have high agreeableness. Peter believes that as long as he is trying to good faith with that, it should be enough for Tony Stark, which Iron Man, to bless his endeavors regardless of his level of effectiveness. At Tony Stark and Peter Parker unite scene, Peter Parker is completely trust Doctor Strangers and come to save the Avengers. Due to the Doctor Stranger informed Peter that Tony needs his help. Here, we find out that Peter know Tony is doing something to try to save people, and Tony needs Peter help. So he is believe Doctor Stranger and come to save the Avengers. And this is the screenshot with Peter Parker unite with Tony Stark. And we've also found out that Spiderman have high neutralism, which is Peter is always look for others to validate him. He is caring too much about what others thinks. At the Peter Parker meet Captain Marvel scene, Peter is introducing himself with less confidence, and Peter is passing the Thanos gauntlet to the Captain Marvel due to what Captain Marvel told to do. And this is the screenshot of the Peter Parker pass Thanos gauntlet to the Captain Marvel. And we also find out that Spider-Man have high self-concept of self-evaluation. Peter Parker is a character that have high self-efficacy. He is confident to deliver the Thanos gauntlet. Even in the bad situation, Peter still proceed to the given task, which is deliver the Thanos gauntlet. Peter Parker is still protecting the Thanos gauntlet while running away from the rainfire. And next is Peter Parker is making important decision that is given the Thanos gauntlet to the Captain Marvel. But for detail, Peter knows his limitation and he knows that the Captain Marvel will complete the task, which is to deliver the Thanos gauntlet to the van in the better and safer, faster way. And for now, I want to talk about team process. Peter has identification based trust on Captain Marvel to is trust on Captain Marvel to deliver the Thanos gauntlet to the van. Peter can trust Captain Marvel because they are at the same team, which is the Avengers. Peter found out that Captain Marvel is more suitable person that can complete the task faster and more secure than he. This just for more detail is Peter Parker is using the running and the swimming the web his spider web to get the long distance traveling, but Captain Marvel is using flying. So in theory, Captain Marvel will be deliver more faster and secure than the Peter Parker. And from here, Peter Parker has communication with Captain Marvel with asking for deliver Thanos gauntlet. Peter think he cannot complete the task alone, so he communicate with Captain Marvel so to ensure that he can complete the task. This for my further analysis. Peter Parker will assist her if Captain Marvel cannot die it alone, but at the latest, Captain Marvel have others Avengers to help her to deliver the Thanos gauntlet. And for next is Peter Parker have low leadership motivation than Tony. We find out that Peter is acting too emotionally. For example, instead of strategy, Peter is often follow his heart or riding on excitement of the mover when he's act. For now, I want to talk about the organization process. Peter Parker is less aggressiveness than the Tony. Peter does not take the risk to fight the Thanos because he knows his ability is not able to make a damage on Thanos. He only do the support others on the example like keeping the Thanos gauntlet safe and try to kill the small enemy. For the conclusion, Peter Parker failed to complete the given task, which is deliver the Thanos gauntlet to the van because he is less aggressively. For the detail, the result may be different if Peter tried to attending the fight with Thanos. Because Peter have an ability that can hold or stun the Thanos mover, so maybe this will change the this may be changed the battle in the this may change the battle in the good way. And because we cannot blame about the Peter Parker because Peter Parker is just a normal student who get the special ability. From my analysis, Peter Parker is very naive, and he always hope everything is going smooth on his life. I also find out that Peter Parker is a talkative people. He can even reading with Avengers while escaping from the brainfire. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi sir, my name is Tan Zhen Yang and the character that I have chosen is Thor. So Thor is also called as God of Thunder, and Thor is one of the key characters in this movie as well. So I will start with the mass model. So according to mass model, the motivation of Thor in this movie is to kill Thanos and bring all human back. So the ability that Thor have learned in this movie is the combination and the team fight with other Avengers members. So this is never experienced by Thor before because he is always fight alone in the Asgard. So role position here, Thor declared himself as the strongest Avengers. This is why one of the reason why Thor fight Thanos in the last fight. So situation factor here is Thor and Rocket back to the past Asgard to get the Ether, which is the reality stone. But Thor accidentally meet his mother, so he has have a conversation with his mother. This caused them to almost out of time to get the Ether back. So the productive work behavior here is Thor forgets his mission and in the back to the Asgard. So it might harm the Avengers if they never get the Ether back to the future. So the MBTI for Thor is INFP. So for cell concept, there are some complexity in these two identity. So the first one is heir to the throne of Asgard, and the second one is the Avengers member, one of the Avengers member. So there is a consistency in these two identity, so which is protect the others like the Asgard citizen and the Earth citizen as well. So Thor has high priority in this movie is because he always protect Asgard and the Asgard citizen and Earth citizen, so he choose to fight the Thanos. But Thor has low self-enhancement here because when Hawk and Rocket fight him in New Asgard, so he becomes fat and frustrated because he think that he is the reason why Thanos is able to snap his finger and half of the universe life is vanished. And also self-verification here is Thor is able to maintain his self-concept, which is kill Thanos and bring all the human back. So next one is the emotion of Thor is firstly anger here because he think that his careless mistake lead to the Thanos able to snap his finger, so it caused the loss of life in the half universe. And next, he became determined to kill Thanos where he find a way to kill it. So for effective commitment here is trust. So Thor believes that Iron Man is able to hold up his lightning power or thunder. So he charged the lightning to Iron Man. So this action is to provide a more powerful laser to shoot to the Thanos. So next one is Thor believes someone can lift up the Mjolnir. So this can be proven where the Captain America is able to lift it up. So according to this movie, the stressor for Thor and Thanos here in this movie is Thanos. So Avengers and Thor are able to remove the stressor by eliminating the Thanos and his troops. Okay, so in decision making here is the decision making of Thor is based on his emotion. Okay, so decision evaluation here is there are some confirmation bias about his body status, because this can be proved when Thor is volunteer to himself to snap the finger, but the other Avengers is convince him because he was not ready for his body status was not ready to take the damage of the infinity growth. So so next one is creative. So the creative of Thor can be found where he he is forging his new weapon, Stormbreaker, because the older weapon one is destroyed by his sister, which is named Hela. So actually, the Fogger is only gives an instruction to Thor because he was not able to forge anymore due to the Thanos. So Thor improved the Stormbreaker based on the Mjolnir design and changed it from a hammer to an axe. So this can be proven where he have the higher creativity. So now I'm going to proceed with team process. So the group we can find in this movie is Avengers. So the purpose of this group is to share experience and get better decision making. So some complex tasks can be divisible to a specialized role. So for example of this incident is Thor was assigned back to the past Asgard, where they are collecting the Infinity Stone. So this action can be explained because Thor is more familiar to Asgard compared to other Avengers. So next, the conflict resolving. So Thor follow majority on snapping finger decision. So because on the beginning Thor volunteered himself to snap the finger because he declared himself as the strongest Avengers, and he can manage to hold the damage of the Infinity Stone. But then Iron Man convinced him that he is not ready for his body status is not ready. So the snapping finger task will be passed to Hulk. So Avengers is a high team cohesion because higher member similarity. So higher member similarity can be explained where each of the member may have their own, like for example superpower, or maybe something like the personality. So next, frequent interaction. So there are many interaction in this movie because many meeting was held to discuss the Thanos problem and the Infinity Stone also. So a better team, high team cohesion can lead to a higher team success. So okay, next I will proceed with a team trust. So the team trust that we can related in this movie is knowledge-based trust. So Iron Man believed Thor that and he asked Thor to charge the thunder to him. So the Thor also believed that Iron Man can endure the damage the thunder. So he charged it also to the Iron Man. This is not only Thor trust Iron Man and Iron Man trust Thor, but also every member of Avengers trust each other as well. So, with example, in the time travel line, each of the member believe the member can fulfill their task and return it with the Infinity Stone. So the next I will proceed with team communication. So team communication is a very important among the team member because through the conversation, so they can know each other more better. So one of the communication advantage is coordinating work activity. So for example, Thor know what he can do or what he shall do after communicate with the Avengers member. But there is a communication barrier between Thor and Avengers in a meeting because Thor, when Captain America asked Thor to explain some details of either which is Reality Stone, but Thor share some experience on her girlfriend, and this is not actually helping for the information. So this will cause the others not to listen well to him, and maybe some important message will be overlooked. Okay, so next power source. The power source that we can see here is the legitimate power. So Iron Man wanted Thor to charge thunder onto him, and Thor never argue to Iron Man and just do what she does. Okay, so next week social network is happen for the Avengers member. So each member offers some unique resource not held by others. Next, influence. So the influence or source of influence that we can see in this movie is persuasion. So Thor tries to influence Hulk and Rocket when Hulk and Rocket found him in the New Asgard. He convinced them not to fight Thanos anymore because to reduce the sacrifice of the human. So next, there are some conflict that we can find here is the differentiation source. So between Thor and Hawkeye. When Hawkeye shared the message of Black Widow has sacrificed himself to get the stone, Infinity Stone, and Thor thought it was just a joke, so that he never take serious about it. Okay, so next conflict can also be found in where Thor volunteered to snap his finger. So here we can conclude that Thor volunteered to snap his finger because he thinks he is the best or strongest Avengers member. So, but the other member and Iron Man is try to like convince him because the body status is not ready for that. So there is some waste of time, energy here, and it can lead to weaken the team cohesion. So about the conflict handling contingency here, Thor is using the Yeeling conflict handling. So Thor agreed to let the Hulk to snap his finger after most of the Avengers member has tried to convince him. So he just agreed to others' opinion and let the Hulk to snap his finger. So that's all for the team process.